So in 15 minutes Eastern Time, we will be experiencing the start of the royal wedding of Prince William and Kate Middleton. And the world is watching, eagerly anticipating their nuptials, as they should be. But for women of my generation, especially mothers of my generation, it is very difficult to look at a day like this and not think of and reflect upon Diana. Diana, Princess of Wales, had a profound effect on my life and influenced me at a time when I really needed to be able to look at a woman or look to a woman for strength and wisdom and inspiration. Diana passed away in 1997 as a result of a paparazzi-driven, horrific car accident. In 1997, about 6 months prior to Diana's death, I had lost the first, possibly the only, great love of my life, at least to date. And my mother was just starting to come around to the idea of me being me. And my father had disowned me by that time, along with his entire side of the family. And I was fortunate enough to be able to look at, various news pieces, the Barbara Walters interview, things of that nature, and learn about Diana. And Diana, to me, was everything that a woman should be: poised and graceful and articulate and beautiful and flawed. And I think that she was magnificent in those flaws. And I just wonder what it must be like to undergo arguably what has to be the happiest day of your life without your mother present. And of course, I can't articulate that thought without thinking about my own mother, whose relationship with me is flawed. She is at once my best friend and my sole supporter, and occasionally the target of any homicidal ideation I've ever experienced. It's very difficult because we're so much alike and so vastly different in other ways. I can't really explain it. My mother plays by the rules. I burned the rule book and live life loudly and according to my own terms. My mother is not a wave maker at all, and I am a tsunami starter. And to me, she seems reserved, and to her, I seem reckless, and we have such different views about life and how it should be lived that it's very hard to kind of come in the middle. And when I think of my mother, especially lately, as I'm kind of getting ready to embark on, real steps of declaring independence and stuff like that, I can't help but say to myself, if this woman were to lose her life, God forbid, tomorrow, did I ever really know her? It's complicated for me because in so many ways I feel like I failed her. And then in other ways, I say to myself, all you can do is the best you can do. And not everybody is necessarily going to acknowledge that effort, including your own parents. I'm no stranger to the notion that every relative is not family, but my mother, for better or worse, has stood by me through, my entire hot mess phase and just every good and bad decision I've ever made. My mother has been there. And I don't know how you can repay somebody for that. Because I know that I can never be the kind of child that she wanted, or for that matter, deserved. I'm never going to be meek. I'm never going to be withdrawn and quiet and not make a noise and not be loud and in your face and boisterous and challenging and shit disturbing. Believe me, I'm remarkably cognizant of my traits. But I just feel like she deserves a lot more than she's gotten. I know that she does. I just don't know how to give that to her. Maybe I just have to start being more like Diana was. I don't know. Do y'all go through this? I know this is kind of more interactive confessions than my previous ones have been, but it's so hard to reconcile that relationship with a person that you love more than life itself. And I can tell you now without hesitation, I would lay down my life for that woman without a second thought, but it's so frustrating. And I don't know how to make it better. I really don't know how to make it better. And then part of the frustration comes from the fact that, I feel as though I'm the only one willing to make it better. Like, I'm let's meet in the middle, let's try to find some kind of common ground. And her idea of making it better is, well, you change. It's funny and it's sad and it's all true. So, I don't know. I love my mom. That much I know. I just don't know how to love her the way that she needs to be loved. Am I the only one? One love.